Next question, Andrew Clennell from Sky News.
Here's another question from a good place, Treasurer. I just wanted to read you a couple of quotes and see if you can identify who said this. That deficit of vision has reduced the budget to a $100 billion missed opportunity, a budget that borrows big and spends big, but thinks small, a budget that delivers generational debt without the generational dividend, $1 trillion in debt and growing, deficits as far as the eye can see, but barely anything else designed to survive beyond the election. Then there was this. These guys wouldn't know the fiscal levers from a selfie stick. That's a good one. Always the phony photo op with these guys,
like the sound
always
of this guy.
About them. And you can exist like that in politics, and maybe for a period of time you can succeed. And that's the biggest risk in this budget. Instead of laying out an economic vision, the government focuses on managing political perception. Both of those were said by Jim Chalmers in May 2021. You've just delivered a budget which forecasts a decade of deficits, $1 trillion debt, the next 4 deficits of $179 billion. My question, Treasurer, is do you feel like a hypocrite today?
No, of course not, because central to the budget last night was an economic vision for the long term. Building Australia's future was a key element of the budget. Building a future made in Australia, investing in every single stage of education, which will pay intergenerational dividends long after any of us are still here. So the budget is long on vision. It's also long on recognising that people are under pressure and we've got responsibilities to them. And when you mention the fiscal position this year, you mentioned the $1 trillion of debt which we inherited from our predecessors. We are at $940 this year. That's a lot of debt. But it was supposed to be $177 billion higher without our efforts, and that's saving Australians on interest costs. And so I appreciate the opportunity that you have given us to remember and reflect on what we inherited when we came to office. And we have deliberately and decisively taken a very different approach to our predecessors. Their budget was weighed down by waste and rorts and missed opportunities, and what we've done is we've invested in the future of this country. Building more homes, investing in lifelong learning, strengthening Medicare. And these are legacy items that we will leave behind whenever we finish up in this place.
If you think back to where you were in 2022 and now, with no surpluses for the decade, was that the plan?
Well, you've deliberately ignored there, Tom, 2 surpluses that we delivered. When we came to office, there were no surpluses, and there were only deficits, and we turned 2 of them into surpluses. I do think, you'd expect me to say this, maybe Katie will agree with me, we do think that is too easily dismissed and too easily diminished. We wouldn't have had those 2 surpluses if we'd not taken the responsible approach to banking and saving and the spending restraint that we have shown. And so let's not lightly dismiss those 2 surpluses. They're hard to get. We haven't seen back-to-back surpluses in this country for almost 2 decades. So let's not try and whitewash that from the history. That's part of our record and we're proud of it. And it's meant that there's a structural benefit too, because those 2 surpluses and the smaller deficit this year is paying dividends for us in the form of lower interest repayments.